Morning, everybody. Today I just got out of the bath, so that's why I'm all wet here. Um, this week, well, at the end of this week, Passover starts, and I've kind of determined in my heart I wanted to celebrate Passover, and I'm gonna start it off telling the story about my brain aneurysm, and and that kind of stuff, and how it kind of relates for me. Um, I think the Lord uses. I'm just gonna say this up front. I think the Lord uses trials and stuff to perfect us, and I know He has for me. Before my brain aneurysm, I was having trouble getting totally free of tobacco, drinking too much. Now, I'm not going to say I don't ever have a drink, because I will have a little bit, but drinking more than I should. And I feel like the Lord used it to work that out in me, and to perfect me. And there's different stages. And I don't know if everybody has to do it the way I do it, because it sure seems like I have to go through some pretty harsh stuff to get things worked out. But this leads me to think about my life. And the first verse I'm going to read to you, and I'm just going to read it off my phone, but throughout my life, well, I've had trouble with depression, so that there's mental illness things that I've struggled with. I've pretty much had moments where I did everything wrong. Like, I was gung-ho, but like Peter, I did everything wrong. I was doing it all the wrong way. And then I had the brain aneurysm, so I'm sure people wonder, about my mental health now. But to be honest, after my nervous breakdown, I was on medication from, I think I was 33 at the time that happened. So from that time until my brain aneurysm, and I was, what would I have been, in my mid-50s, I was on medication. Now I'm not on medication anymore. I'm not, and I'm doing pretty good. I have to cling to the Lord like nobody's business, but that's okay, because that's what I need to do, and that's what we all need to do. But the first verse that the Lord gave me for today is, "Yet God chose the foolish things of the world so He might put to shame the wise, and God chose the weak things of the world so He might put to shame the strong." And that's 1 Corinthians 1:27. And I definitely feel like a foolish thing, let me tell you. I do. I really do. So anyway, and I've mentioned it a few times with my brain injury. So I had been having headaches. This was in 2020 when everything, started happening with the pandemic and all that stuff. And I was having just really bad headaches. I'd have to go home from work, and my daughter bought me a neck massage pillow and stuff, and that would help a little bit. But one day I got up, and I went to the bathroom, and I woke up on the floor. And I'm not a person who faints very easy. I just don't. I never I'm not like those fainting goats. I don't. Though the only one other time I could remember fainting was when my oldest son was born and I lost a lot of blood. I felt faint. I didn't actually faint. But so I'm like, there's something going on, and I had a headache. I can't even explain it. It was bad. Really, the worst headache I'd ever had in my life. And so I didn't know what to do. I called in sick. I think I sent a message or called in or something to my boss, because I had her number, but and then I called my daughter-in-law, or ex-daughter-in-law, but she's almost more like a daughter now. But I called Amy because she lives next door to me, and asked her if she could take me to the hospital. I think I told her what happened, and she's like, "Oh, sure." So she took me to the hospital, and the last thing I remember going to the door of the emergency room, but after that, I really don't remember much at all. I don't remember hardly anything, and I don't remember much of anything for 2 weeks. 2 whole weeks. I have some like dreamlike memories. But what happened is they life flighted me from where I live to Seattle to Harborview, which is a pretty good hospital. I'm thankful that they did that. And there they gave me, I don't know what they call it, but and you can see it maybe. I have a scar yet to this day, and you can see it at times. Yep, there it is. They busted open my brain and did surgery, put a clip in there. And when I got out, I guess, well, this is what they tell me because I don't remember any of this. Then I got bacterial meningitis. So first of all, I could have died real easy from the brain aneurysm, but bacterial meningitis on top of it, I don't even know how I lived through it, honestly. It just had to be the Lord. But I don't remember a couple weeks. I remember waking up and there was all these balloons that probably my boss and them had sent. I think it was them who sent it, but I didn't remember any of that. I vaguely remembered, like, talking to my daughter at times, but and here's kind of the funny part of it is, after it was all said and done and I finally got home, I was in there 6 weeks. They never took away my phone, which, why would you give a brain patient a phone and let them loose? I'm not sure I understand that. So apparently they had started this group chat and I was posting all kinds of weird stuff. Like, I guess I was entertained. I don't remember it. So that's funny. It still makes me laugh. But it makes me think of, it kind of does make me think of Passover. There's a few reasons. First of all, I'm a firstborn. I'm the firstborn in my family. And I'm a Christian, and so that doesn't make me Jewish by any means. And we're going to talk about that this week, because I can see there is a problem in the churches. There is a problem where there's anti-Semitism in the churches. It shouldn't be there. It should not be there. I'm going to read scripture about it, and it states it pretty plainly. How people can say that they're Bible-believing people and ignore these things, I don't know. I really don't. But anyway, we are grafted in. So I am grafted in. And maybe I think of Israel like a big brother, or they were like the firstborn, or I don't know exactly how I'm supposed to think of them, but God has given me this tremendous love for Israel. I love Israel. I have been praying for them, watching stuff, cheering them on, doing my best to defend them, and I think that's the way it's supposed to be. That's what we're called to do. That's what we were supposed to love them, and we let them down. But anyway, so being grafted in, I'm going to read about in Exodus. So let me just read and we'll go on. Exodus 12:13. The blood will be a sign for you on the houses where you are. When I see the blood, I will pass over you, so there will be no plague among you to destroy you when I strike the land of Egypt. And also this verse came to me because I am, a believer, and I am grafted in. It's Isaiah 54:17. No weapon formed against you will prosper, and you will condemn every tongue that rises up against you in judgment. This is the heritage of Adonai's servant. Their vindication is from me. It is a declaration of Adonai. I think that was meant for Israel, and it still stands for today. No weapon's gonna prosper that gets formed against them. It's not. And Psalm 91, which has been, when I first came to the Lord, because I dealt with fear a lot, Psalm 91 has really been, it's just like every time I'd open the Bible, I'd turn to Psalm 91. The Lord just kept giving me Psalm 91, and then I found out later that was a real famous psalm, and a loved psalm. So Psalm 91:14, because he has devoted his love to me, I will deliver him. I will set him securely on high, because he knows my name. So in honor of Passover, that's why I wanted to tell that story. And this week, I'm probably gonna do more. First of all, I'm just finding I've got a lot of time on my hands. So I might try to do at least a short or something every day. But I hope that blesses you. And I'm really praying. I'm really praying for as many of the churches, because there's really only one church. There's all these denominations. I'm just praying that they all get right with God and get their hearts right towards Israel, because it's important. And you're probably going to hear me say this more than once this week. And it still stands, but God said he will bless those who bless Israel, and he will curse those who curse Israel. And I think we better start taking that serious. It's a serious thing. Anyway, I love you. Bye.